Are you getting married soon? If yes, here are trauma and emotional conversations you should have before you say I do. You better don't skip this video, because in this video I'm going to share with you some important aspects of your life that you and your partner may be overlooking. Conversations that can change the entire trajectory of your marriage, because these are the non-negotiable conversations I have in my therapy and premarital counseling sessions with engaged couples. And trust me, they always create those light bulb moments that shift everything all of a sudden. Welcome again. My name is Nike Folagbade, and in this video, I will be talking to you about those important trauma conversations that can affect how you both connect, blend, and relate with yourselves in marriage. Okay, so I want to share with you maybe about 5, or who knows, maybe I have some bonuses for you. But let me ask you this: do you know that the degree to which you heal before marriage determines the level of connection that you bring into it? Yes, absolutely. If you were avoidant before marriage, you will still be avoidant in marriage. You will not change except you actually work on yourself. If you struggle to open up before marriage, marriage will not automatically fix these things. Do you see? Marriage doesn't change your relational dynamics. It actually exposes them. Marriage in itself reveals the flaws, habits, and patterns that you have been covering with your best behavior during dating. I'm sure you know that most times people like to put their best foot forward. So let's talk about 7 conversations you must have before saying I do. The first one is an important part that, during my sessions, I have this template called childhood mapping, and I feel like it's always very interesting because it's important to know this. The first one is your upbringing. You see, how were you raised? What was it like between the ages of 5 and 12? What shaped your early view of love, respect, and relationships? Those years build your internal programming. I mean, things like your mindsets, your beliefs, your emotional patterns, and even if you don't remember much, your behavior today often carry traces of those years. So you probably want to ask yourself, how was love shown in my home? What did conflict look like while growing up? What experiences have altered my outlook towards life? How were mistakes or failures handled? Was the home stable, or was there a lot of chaos, fear, anxiety, and interferences? What roles did you see maybe men and women play that can give you insights on what gender roles are all about? What also did you learn about trust and communication? You see, these are powerful questions if you can sit with it. And trust me, one of the biggest issues that people have is you sometimes don't want to confront and ask yourself deep questions. It's almost like you're afraid of coming to the reality of the truth in itself, but it's going to really help you, right? The second is childhood trauma, and this is a bit different from upbringing. You know why? Not everyone had a traumatic childhood, but for those who did, it must be acknowledged. Did you experience molestation, criticism, comparison, rape, bullying, or neglect while you were growing up? Did you grow up in fear because of domestic fights between your parents or maybe guardians, neighbors? Or did you experience any form of loss or instability? Maybe your dad left, or maybe your mom was emotionally unavailable. You see, all this shape your ability to connect and cleave, just as the Bible has commanded. Trauma creates fear walls where love is supposed to flow, and until healing begins, true intimacy will keep on feeling unsafe. The third thing you should look into is communication patterns. What was communication like in your family? Was it affectionate and open, or maybe it was silent and rash, or maybe it was authoritarian? If you grew up where people yelled to be heard, you may repeat that. If you had parents who didn't talk much, you may just become withdrawn or defensive. So a man who saw authority as domination may carry that into his marriage. And a woman who grew up with criticism might become overly defensive. So you have to recognize these patterns, because what you don't heal will repeat. I remember seeing a family where they usually just abuse themselves when they want to correct each other. Oh, see your head, you're so stupid, bastard, yeah. And that's how they speak. I mean, imagine that kind of person coming into marriage with a sane mindset. What do you think will happen? Let's also look at your conflict style. That will be number 4. How was conflict handled in the home? I hope you know that communication and conflict are 2 different things. You see, the way that your parents used to argue can actually determine how you also handle arguments. Because if you notice things like violence, and maybe someone was always avoidant, or there was always chaos in the whole conflict, if you don't talk about how you guys respond, you would notice that you get triggered, offended, or misunderstood in this relationship. So talk about, conflict resolution was. The 5th is affection and intimacy. Was love invincible in your home? Did you see your parent play, laugh, or express affection? Or was it a duty-driven relationship? Just structure and seriousness. The kind of intimacy modeled to you becomes your default setting in marriage. So if you never saw warmth, you may struggle to express it unless you consciously want to learn. I remember one session where the 2 people were together and they were just so far apart. The lady kept trying to place her hands on him, but he was just always, trying to resist it. I understood and I asked him, how was it like while growing up? And his answers showed to us that he actually does not understand that level of intimacy, and they had to work on it even before the whole sessions ended. So you see that it matters, right? Don't hold back. Don't argue with yourselves. Don't fight each other. Just listen. You will pay attention to many things, right? Journal your responses. You'll be surprised with what you discover. You may even want to start with yourself before you even talk to your partner, just so you have some level of self-awareness. And when you've done this and you feel like, we need to talk to a therapist, we need to address these issues now, then go on and book a session and let's work together to make your marriage not just blissful, but aligned, healed, and whole. Because a healed heart builds a healthy home. So if you found this video helpful, like it, share with another engaged couple, and don't forget to subscribe for more conversations on love, healing, and building healthy relationships. So drop a comment right now and tell me which of these conversations do you feel like that is where you want to start from. I'll see you right there. Bye.